Welcome, my confident, self-directed investors, to the After Halving Excitement. I hope you are finding it exciting because if you've heard what I had to say on my previous videos in this walk we've been taking, the facts are before a halving is your investment period for the lowest cost basis possible. Then after the halving, like took place on April 20th, the prices can stay they can stay the same, they can fluctuate, or they can rise. And there's a 12 to 18 month period in which we will see Bitcoin react in the rising. It's not an immediate thing like some people may have thought of, wow, the Bitcoin halving is going to drop faster than the New Year's Eve ball in New York City. No, that's not true. The halving, before the halving, is the investment period. That's why I stress that you do your budget to find out what you can invest and do that without hurting yourself or your family, so that you actually have that money to invest in the lowest cost basis possible before the halving. And then after the halving, if the prices go down to lower than the cost basis prior to the halving that were available at that time, then you would want to continue your budget and keep on investing, because at some point it's going to catch traction over the next 12 to 18 months and Bitcoin will rise. It's not a automatic shebang, here you go. So, for those of us that are planners like myself and understand that you have the before the halving investment cycle, and you get in on those cost bases so that when the halving happens, we don't know how soon after the halving it's going to catch traction. It could be weeks, it could be months. They speculatively put out there a 12 to 18 month period. So if you're not hurting yourself or your family by doing your budget to see exactly what you can invest, that amount that you're investing, you can allow to leave alone there, right? So it's a holding game is what it is. And so you've made your investments before the halving at those lower cost bases, because that was starting around 49,000 up to 70,000, back to 50, up to 70, and it got tighter into the 60 range, and it got tighter to the 70 range. So that's kind of how the volleyball gets hit over the net, so to speak. And if you just plan this out to not hurt yourself or your family, invest exactly what you can. Even if you're doing the $1 investment plus the costs of trading, and you end up at a $2 investment, and that's what you're doing monthly, that's better than absolutely doing nothing. Because Bitcoin is the most valuable asset on the planet. And it is going to continue to rise and go up in value over time, and to when the scarcity actually catches traction for being at its most scarce point is when it's going to be the most valuable. And for you, having invested without hurting yourself or your family and being able to let it sit there until the time goes by for this traction to catch on, it will over time make you a very wealthy person compared to where you're sitting at right now. And that is the important lesson to remember, because you're going to have reports coming out from what they call the bears in the market that say little to nothing's going to happen. Then you're going to have reports coming out from those who are the bulls that they call out there in the market that are going to say a lot's going to happen. I try to choose the planning ground of, hey, there's a lot of you out there that have been doing absolutely nothing with investing, and investing is where you're going to get the wealth to make it through life, to overcome these higher interest rates in life, and to survive some of what the world's going to throw at us economically. And so I'm trying to encourage you that you can't afford to just sit and do absolutely nothing. You need to do something. That starts with planning your budget, knowing what's going to keep you and or your family safe, what you have left over that you're potentially just wasting on frivolous stuff that you could actually invest. If that's $1 plus the trading costs and end up at a $2 investment, and that's it, that is absolutely better than doing nothing and holding on over time and getting the growth over time, not trying to be the day trader in buying low to sell high, because after the halving, at some point in time when this catches traction, you'll already be at your lowest cost basis. It'll go up, and some will decide that, hey, that just rose enough for where I'm at today and the month of the year and all of that. I want to sell. I still encourage you, if you're at that point, do not sell 100% off. You need to keep at least 25% of your cost basis going forward, so that over time, as all these changes happen and the scarcity gets even more scarce, you can have the lowest cost basis still in your profile to some degree and capitalize on those future gains when we get there. So, it should not be a big anxious thing for you, because again, you should be doing your budget solidly, planning for what's going to provide for your family, planning what's going to keep you safe, and seeing what you have left over, and deciding with what you have left over what you can afford to invest and let sit and grow a great portfolio over time. And so I'm not saying you have to have an astronomical amount in it. I'm saying you need to have something in it over nothing that a lot of you have right now by doing nothing. And that scares me, because a lot of people could benefit from learning how to invest. That's what I'm trying to show you how to do over time with what you can afford monthly. And there's no limit to it. It's, can you get started putting in $1 plus a trading cost, ending up at $2 investment monthly to do something more than nothing for yourself? And as my previous videos have shown you, it's not just in Bitcoin alone. So to review, you do your budget, you see what you have to invest, right? And if you only have the $1, in the past months that I've been doing these videos, I've said, yes, put your $1 plus a trading cost monthly into Bitcoin. These are the lowest cost bases we're going to see for a while. Well, now that the halving's happened, people are making all kinds of wild decisions out there. And I think that those wild decisions are impacting the market, which is why I'm trying to get the truth to you of, if you are investing the way I suggest, and you're doing it safely, you're not hurting yourself, you're not hurting your family, you can let that money just rest and grow over time, you will become a self-confident investor and you will become a winner. It's not a flash gains thing. It will appreciate over time. You don't want to play the let's buy low, let's sell it 100% off when it gets higher. No, you want to prorate it. So depending on how your budget is and what you're working with, you don't want to lose all of your cost basis selling just because it incrementally is going to start going higher at some point over the next 12 to 18 months. And that's okay. In the meantime, if you're not hurting yourself, continue to invest. But Bitcoin is not the only thing I've encouraged you to invest in. I've also stated that in addition to accumulating a little bit of Bitcoin. So some of you might say, okay, I've been investing 4 months prior to the halving. That was the lowest cost basis I'm seeing right now. I'm going to just stop investing in Bitcoin. That would be a personal choice of yours. As a self-confident investor, you need to make some of these decisions of where you and your budget stand, because you also will want to make sure that if $1 is your budget plus trading costs, over the next several months, you're going to want to take that $1 plus trading costs and make sure you're getting into Ethereum and staking it. Because when you buy into Ethereum and you do the staking and you get the percentage rate, that actually starts an automatic cycle every so many days of giving you that interest rate in partial or fractional shares of Ethereum, and it starts a thing that keeps on accumulating every so many days, which you can look up on Coinbase under the percentage rate earning cycle, and it will tell you that Ethereum pays out every so many days. This percentage rate, that'll be in your account in fractional shares added to your staking account, and those fractional shares will just start growing for you every so many days all year long for however long you want to let that level sit and grow at that rate. And then you want to do the same with Polkadot and Solana and Cosmos and Cardano and Tezos and Polygon and get those interest rates working for you. So if in those top 8 asset recommendations, it takes you 8 months to plant $1 in each one of those assets and then stake it and then get the interest rate going, that's going to be worth it than doing absolutely nothing. If you can do more, well, you'll see more fractional shares. And if you have a ton that you're doing, you'll start seeing whole coins come to you as a reward. And you can let the interest rate work on your behalf as you go forward. And having that interest rate pulling you forward over just watching one asset go up and down is a better and more stable place to be. So, I hope you consider doing something over nothing, even if it's a $1 per month investment plus a trading cost, getting you involved for $2 a month. Do that with your assets of Bitcoin, and then after you do the Bitcoin, you want to do the Ethereum and stake it, and the Polkadot and stake it, and then next month Solana, stake it, Cosmos stake it, Cardano stake it, Tezos stake it, Polygon stake it, and once you have those top 8 assets set up like that, then it won't bother you so much as to what the Bitcoin price is actually doing, because you've done your budget, you found out how you're going to be safe, your family's going to be safe. This is money set aside to invest and let sit and grow. And over time, the Bitcoin price, due to scarcity, which makes it the most costly asset on the planet, will take off and it will bring gains. But you can't be 100% dependent on that solely. You need these other assets that we just went over and their interest rates staked so that you're getting the network rewards in fractional shares every so many days, all month long, 12 months in a year, and going forward. So that way, if you reach a place where you cannot continue to invest yourself for whatever length of time that would be, these interest gaining assets will continue to accumulate fractional shares, and as the asset goes up, you'll have more, and it continues to grow for you. I think that's a sweet deal. Anyway, I still encourage you to do something over nothing. Go small. If you're afraid, you're scared, you're skeptical, you're just getting your first trades in, and you don't know exactly what you're doing, you can start out small. I'm encouraging you. $1 plus a trading cost, $2 monthly, or every paycheck, or whatever cycle you choose, because this is your life, this is your profile. I'm sharing the success I've found in doing mine the last 5.5 years with crypto specifically. I've done investing a lot longer in other markets, but with crypto, it's going on 6 years for me. And this is what I found. This is the success path. It's great. Having assets that you can put into, stake, get the interest network rewards and actual fractional shares, so that as the value itself goes up on the asset, You have more fractional shares, you have more value. It's wonderful. So, thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend, a great week, and a great investment cycle getting started in your life. If you've been benefited by my sharing with you, I ask that you would share my YouTube channel with others so they can get started doing something over nothing as well. This is about helping everybody out and the knowledge that it takes to get started simply. And this is simple. It doesn't really take a lot to get started. It just takes your willingness and your willingness to dedicate to yourself, and you're loving yourself enough to believe in your future, and you can do it this simply. And as you share with others your successes, it will continue to go and grow. And that's my hope and desire, is that my success for myself can be shared and become your success and other people's successes in the next coming days, weeks, months, years, however you wish to help me get my word out. Thank you, and have a great weekend and great week.